Welcome to TYHub, Let's Talk podcast, the ultimate destination for students and teachers alike. Get ready for an exciting journey as we dive into thought-provoking conversations with some incredible minds. In this episode, we'll be featuring Pat Murphy, a clinical reflexologist, yoga and meditation teacher, and a second-year student of counselling and psychotherapy at PCI College, who will share their insights on meditation, yoga, career and studies. So sit back, relax, and let the chat begin. This is TYHub, Let's Talk podcast, shaping the future one chat at a time. Welcome, Pat, to TYHub, Let's Talk. We're delighted to have you here today on St. Bridget's Day.
Here.
Hopefully we get to chat about everything that you do. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and what you do today?
Okay, so I suppose I better tell you where I'm from, because that's really important to my story. I'm from North Cork, very country, very rural. It's called Ned. We have to mention that it's a beautiful, beautiful place. Place that I ran away from very quickly, but wanted to come back to. So background, I would have been in retail and sales for quite some time. But behind the scenes, then I kind of was led in a different direction, and I started training 25 years ago as a reflexologist, and then I built up all that, and about 15 years ago, actually 14 years ago, before the birth of my second child, I was sitting in traffic. It's a very long story, but I'll cut it short. I was sitting in traffic one day, late to collect our first child, who was only a year, maybe 14 months, I can't quite remember. And I was late, as I said, to collect from the wonderful creche, and I just realized I can't do this anymore, So after the birth of the child, and she was about 6 months old, I said to my husband, I'm not going back. I'm going to start up my own business. And he was all for it, great support. So I started my holistic therapies business 14 years ago, about that, 14 years ago. And I am absolutely working in an industry that I love. I love my job. The reason I say all of that is that it wasn't a linear journey at all. It was ups and downs and challenges, met by challenges. Dropping some therapies, collecting others, learning. Science is a huge part of what I do as well. And I love where I am right now today.
And you're continuing to learn as well, as you have a fantastic wellness center. You decided to add psychotherapy to your range of qualifications already, and it's just a continuous learning path for you as well as a career path.
Well, I think education is incredibly freeing, and I know probably some of the teens listening to that now would probably be sick of hearing that from adults. Like, ooh, but I promise you, it's freeing. And the journey into psychotherapy, I'm in second year with PCI College. It's a 4-year degree course, and the decision to do that was a strange one as well, because during the lockdowns, unfortunately, I had to close my business, just like all the other holistic therapists. We had to close our business ourselves, beauty therapists, hairdressers. We were all kind of together, if you know what I mean. So we had to stop working. And instead of going completely insane, which I would have done, I started doing some online kind of holistic counselling courses. And then I spotted PCI College's CERT course, which was completely online at that stage. And it was self-learning. So you just kind of got on with it. And then at the end of that, they very cleverly invite you to do the degree. And it is the most amazing thing I have ever started. Incredibly challenging, because they kind of take you apart and slowly build you up and put you back together. And it's, of course, it's completely autonomous as well. You must it's self-directed. You must
Okay.
put in the work. But I think if it wasn't for that and the lecturers and my fellow students, the support network is just absolutely amazing. So if it wasn't for that, sorry, I wouldn't still be at it. I'd have gone and done something else, or done nothing and stayed in the beautiful status quo that I have.
Yeah.
But it's,
Nice calm.
why do I need to do this? Why do I need to learn academic writing? But you know
But it
what?
is for the career that you have, mind, body, and soul is all connected. So you can't work on the body and the soul if you don't have
No,
mind. So
no,
it makes a logical, natural progression, isn't it?
it
Um,
is. Yeah, definitely,
and
Fiona.
you work with such a range of ages as well, Pat, from babies to young adults, teenagers, and older, our own ages.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you work with babies compared to, what is it that you would do with babies? Because I know there's a lot of teens that are interested in maybe careers with working in pediatrics.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so I know with when you're having babies now, they kind of say, do baby massages and stuff like that. And being a mom myself, I remember when that came out and I was like, oh my God, how would I do that?
Yeah.
So there'd be fabulous places like yourself and people like yourself and the your wellness center down Blarney that you can go and learn how to do baby massages, and that is
You
it.
can. You can. So, about 17 years ago, 18 maybe, before our oldest child was born, actually, so that would be 19 years ago, I did the baby massage instructors course and use that. I teach parents how to work with their babies, but I kind of added to that then. So my absolute true love is reflexology. I'm a clinical reflexologist, and the power of reflexology is mind blowing. It really is for all ages. So for the babies, then the colic and constipation and all of that. But if they're unsettled, it's just a wonderful way to help them settle. So what I did was I kind of grew the course to involve, of course, massage, because that's really, really important, reflexology, acupressure, and a beautiful sequence for lymphatic drainage, so boosting immunity. Um, so they get a lot of information.
Okay.
But you know what, Fiona? Whatever about the babies, because they are, of course, vital
Mm.
to the whole thing. It's about parents' well-being as well, and the support network that the group, they bond with each other, which is what I was looking for. Please bond with each
Mhm.
other, you know. So they kind of set up their little WhatsApp groups, and then they go and meet outside. So it's about the social aspect, the health aspect, mental and physical well-being for babies, but
Mhm.
mental well-being for parents, especially mothers. Most of my parents come in are mothers.
Mhm.
Um, so it's about that as well. It's the mind, body, and soul and spirit, as you mentioned earlier on. It's just this. It's very special. I think it's just observing the group and observing the babies growing every week. My God, they nearly walk up the stairs on the last week. They've grown so much, but it's really about the mothers.
Mhm.
That's parents. Sorry, that's the crux of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
So when you start off young, you're giving them a good grounding and a good footing as well for their mind, body, and soul, and you like you were saying, their immunity can be
Yeah,
boosted as well.
yeah.
They to be very balanced babies.
Well,
So
that's the
not
goal.
all of us would have had that, and not every teenager would have been brought up in that either. So you've progressed then from the mummies and babies, or parents and
Yeah,
babies, and
yeah.
toddler groups, and then continuing on with that.
Yeah.
And you're also a yoga instructor.
I am.
So I'm assuming that this would be something that you would do with students, and bringing them a little bit of peace in the very busy day.
Yeah.
So with the yoga, that for me, that would be the first thing that I would think of. That's what you would do with students from any age, really, is it?
So there's two things. The first one regarding yoga, I was incredibly lucky to be invited to teach yoga and meditation in our local secondary school, Sculvarig Small, where my three teens go to, and also the primary school, Scoil Creasa. When they were there, I was teaching. It was kind of during Health Week. A parent with a skill would be asked to come in, and that was just absolutely incredible. So I teach summer camps as well, sewing and yoga summer camps. So you can kind of pluck your students from the primary school to come in. You know, they just love the creativity of it. However, what I also do in my therapy center, I work using reflexology with teens who might be anxious, who need a bit of grounding, especially this time of year with exam stress coming up. There's so many.
And they've all started their mock exams there this week as well. So I've seen some students are very, very calm and they know, they're just going into it, and this is their mocks, this is the tests, especially with junior cert. This is their first exams as well. So hopefully, yeah, being a little bit of calm and grounding would definitely, a bit of mindfulness is what is definitely required this time of year.
Well, actually, our middle little girl has gone in today to English. At this moment, she's probably waiting to start her English exam. But you know what, Fiona? Whatever about therapies and yoga and all of that, they're incredible. They really do work. But the one thing, if anyone wants to take one thing away from today, whether you're a child, a teenager, or an adult, is if you can regulate your breathing, if you can get your breathing going, there's science, this is science backed. If you can really settle into your breathing and control it and stop holding your breath and perhaps stop mouth breathing as well, we have devolved to become mouth breathers, unfortunately, all of us, is if you can just settle into your breath, the calmness that comes over, and the clarity, because you need clarity when you're doing your exams, you can't be all fuddled up here or muddled, whatever the word is. But if everybody can just settle into this 5 minute, 10 minute, whatever it takes, even 1 minute of conscious breathing will help you. And I promise you that is scientifically proven to work, breathing.
Well, we do it for a quick minute during the podcast. Like, I think that might do it. Let's do it. Let's see what it's like. So if you want to talk me through it, and I'll not mouth breathe.
They keep on giving. Okay.
I'll try to breathe through my nose. I have got a bit of the cold that's going around at the moment, but we, clear the mind. Is that what we're aiming for? And concentrating on your body breathing.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Through that.
What you're doing, just to let you know, Fiona, you're coming out of here. I know you have to be in here for what you're doing right now. You're coming out of here and you're coming into your body and you're working on the diaphragm muscle, and that affects everything. So yeah, if you want to, this is great. Okay, so nice and tall, and your breathing will actually help your cold. Promise you.
Okay.
So you're putting your feet firmly on the ground and you're stretching out your toes, and you're just conscious of soles of the feet on the ground, nice and supported. You're aware now of the parts of your body that are touching your chair. And you're seeing what's happening with your back. You're slouched. And now you're taking your shoulders away from your ears, gently back away from your ears, and let them flop down. Just let them flop down. And if you want to help you, let your arms also flop down beside you. You can put your hands on your lap as well, of course, if you wish. Otherwise, let them flop away down there and relax your fingers and your thumbs and your jaw, because we clench our jaw all the time. So we're going to relax our jaw. And you're going to take a lovely deep breath in through your nose. And as you do that, you're aware of the breath as it goes in through the nose and as it fills your lungs. And it's really going to fill your lungs now. And as you do that, your tummy expands because your diaphragm does what it's supposed to do. It moves downwards. And now you're going to breathe slowly out through the nose again and control that out breath. Make it last longer than the in breath. Let it out, let it out, let it out. And at the end of the exhalation, start the breath in again through the nose. So keep breathing in, your chest expands, your tummy expands. So that diaphragm is working. It's a muscle like any other, it needs exercise. And at the end of the inhalation, off we go, breathing out really slowly again through the nose. Feel your tummy and your chest deflate. Shoulders stay relaxed. And we do it all over again. Breathing in through the nose, really mindfully feeling the breath, feeling the air going into your nose, filling your lungs, expanding your tummy. And then exhale really slowly this time. Really control that out breath. Let it go, taking all the stress with it. And we're going to do one more slightly differently, Fiona. We are going to continue breathing in through the nose. We're going to breathe in a moment. Now we're going to breathe in through the nose. I'll just explain it to you first. You're going to expand the chest, expand the tummy. And then as you breathe out, you're going to breathe out through your mouth and you're going to kind of purse your lips so that you can control the out breath. And you're going to make it the longest, slowest out breath you have ever done. So are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So in through the nose, in through the nose, really expand your lungs. Diaphragm moves down as it should. Your tummy expands. And then you're going to breathe out, purse your lips, and the slowest exhalation you could ever do. Really slowly out. Let it go, let it go, let it go. All the stress is leaving now. And breathe in.
Oh wow, I've never breathed out like that before.
Tell you now, it's magic. The thing about the exhalation, that's the one that actually activates the sympathetic nerve, the parasympathetic, nervous system. So it takes you away from fight or flight.
Right, okay.
It's all good.
So if students can take that away for you know for over the next like the week and a half, even the teachers, it's not the parents, oh my god, it's everybody that's involved with somebody that has some sort of exams going on at the moment. College students as well, they're in exams kind of continuous for the next few months as well, so it's for everybody, anybody. That was to actually stop and think about what your body is doing is quite strange. By the last one there, I got into the rhythm.
Yeah, and you see,
before
there's an old Buddhist.
I found like as soon as I was finished, I was slouching down. So no, sit up straight.
Sit up straight and see, are you breathing through the, sorry, I can't speak, through the day? Are you breathing through your mouth? We all do. We're like,
I think my whole entire life.
And that, come here. That has changed our facial structure.
Well, okay.
Changed our facial structure. Again, science. So if we can train ourselves just even a couple of minutes a day to breathe through the nose, to do what we have, our
to do.
bodies, it's there to breathe through. We don't. We breathe through this.
But it also, when you're breathing through your nose, there's, with the science side of it, your nose is built so that it filters as well. So, and you're not filtering through your mouth as well. So it would also help with not catching every cold that's going. But like the difference then between what is the difference between clinical reflexology and reflexology? Are they two different things, or are they?
So you start, usually when you begin your reflexology journey, you start with classical.
Okay.
So classical has my memory of it anyway. I'm trying to remember. That's a very long time ago. God, it's quarter of a century. It has a linear process, which is perfect. It's beautiful. But as you kind of, I can only speak for myself, you kind of want more information. And I wanted something that was very much subjective to the clients that I have. They're so diverse. So I started exploring other avenues as well. And the clinical side of it really is you're talking about cancer support, pregnancy, fertility. You're talking about working with anxiety and depression. And we don't cure, by the way. Anyone who comes in and says, I can cure that. No, no, run away, run away. So you start with classical, and that has the structure. The other thing I will say, anyone who is interested in starting, any of the teens out there who are starting, are thinking, I'd love that. Please take this thing away from this. Is setting boundaries is incredibly important, because you will be burned out before you know it. You will be giving so much of yourself, so much of your energy, that burnout, and then you'll start resenting. And burnout and resentment go hand in hand, as far as I'm concerned. Setting boundaries, that's something that they don't always teach you when you're working with holistic therapies. It's something you have to learn, and creating that boundary. But in life, I think, Fiona, isn't it, that setting boundaries can be very difficult, especially for people who are people pleasers. And they give and they give, and people go, oh, they'll give, let's take, know. So setting boundaries, it's incredibly difficult, and incredibly, you feel guilty, and this word guilt should go away. It's incredibly important for your mental and physical well-being to set and keep boundaries. So that's one thing. And I suppose when you're sitting trying to think of a career that you might like, boundaries are important in all careers. Otherwise, you're working hours and hours and hours, and your personal life is thrown away, So that took a segue, didn't it?
It's kind of deep, but that's the way the podcasts go. In a chat, we start off. It's to give students that and teachers that little bit of insight into what it's like for different careers, because this is when we went to school, which is, I think this is something that I have said in every podcast now at this stage, but when we went to school, it was you were going to college, or you were going straight into a trade or an intermediate job. So you finished school, you went to work. That was you had to grow very, very quick. And now they're start, not now, it's taken a few years, but like they are looking at alternatives. So, apprenticeships are now big on the rise, and they're fantastic for people to go. I mean, like for hairdressing, beauty, any kind of physical, even physiotherapy, there and psychotherapy. I know there's degrees out there for it, but you can start off by doing an apprenticeship or a PLC course and working your way up. And it's seeing those other routes that are there, and having chats like this, and hearing about how we as adults have gotten to our destination. It's not always, where we end up in our career points as well, because I have found that, like yourself, a lot of people have learned and changed and progressed over their career paths. So you don't just either finish school and go straight into an apprenticeship. That's 4 years of learning. You can go into college and not like what you're doing in college, and change your college program. So you can go from a diploma to a degree to a master's, to have so many letters behind your name. Some of it's all point orientated, and that stresses people out as well. What stresses parents out is that they've changed it from ABC to H.
Oh yeah, that's
true. I'm not understanding that side of it. And just by the end of it, you just go, well, how many points do you need for that course? So there's a lot of career guidance counselors are amazing. Like they are not just there to guide you in school. Teachers are looking after at least 900 kids on any given day. and their minds and what they'd like to do.
Mm.
They have to make those choices. So there's some things that in life that you have to make choices while you're in school to what subjects you need to do to go and pursue the career that you'd like to do. And I stress like to do, because you may end up in that career not liking it,
Yes.
changing path altogether. Or go into the world and with work experience, especially in TY, it's great. Do you know, like with work experience, go to the industries, or like
Yeah,
go
exactly.
to a wellness center if you're into yoga and reflexology and alternative healing,
Mm.
mind, body, and soul. This would be a work experience as well. Coming to the wellness center and learning how you work, rather than going to work in your local shop, which you might not want to do as a career. So, but people wouldn't automatically think that this is a career as well. Um,
Yeah.
it turns out to be a career, but it wouldn't
Oh,
be that they would at 14, 15, 18 years of age would think of doing. It kind of would be a progress, wouldn't it? A process once
good.
they.
Yeah. And I suppose thinking about it as well, would I recommend that a 15, a 14, 15, 16-year-old come in to holistics? Probably, I would say wait, particularly because of what I said a while ago about the boundaries. Like, you
Mhm,
need to be a strong person to set those boundaries, otherwise you're taken for granted.
mhm,
Um, but it is definitely, there's so much choice out there. It's mind blowing, the
mm.
choices out there now for people and how to get to wherever. You just reminded me of something there, Fiona. A friend of mine, a friend of mine decided that she wanted to be a pharmacist. Okay, and she wanted to be particularly a pharmacy technician. That was her thing. She wanted to be
Okay.
a work experience in a pharmacy, and hated every second of it.
Oh no. Oh God. Right. Okay.
And it wasn't where she was working. She just couldn't get over so much to do, So now
Mm,
she's in design. She designs the most amazing light structures for hotels. You can't even call them light bulbs and light, whatever they call them.
yeah. So
Oh,
art. So she's gone
art.
from
Yes.
she's gone from pharmaceutical to art and design. That is
And that's from working her work experience. She's
okay.
like, no.
So it
Um,
is definitely the right year to take advantage of
take
learning
it.
what the
Yeah.
career paths are
Yeah.
out there. And that's the end of part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.